Now, here's the chance the Clippers have to go after a championship caliber point guard because they were trying to go after, Malcolm Brogdon and, of course, James Harden. You heard so much about him through me and the media. I know you're tired of hearing that. So am I, tired of talking about it as well. But here's their chance to go after a championship point guard in Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is currently on the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm pretty sure, as you know, if you don't know, Damian Lillard was traded from Portland in a 3-team trade deal that sent Drew Holiday from the Milwaukee Bucks, to the Portland Trail Blazers, and now Damian Lillard's on the Trail Blazers with Giannis, which that would definitely make them, a very formidable team to come out the East. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have them coming out the East as of right now, and I'm pretty sure a lot of media people and a lot of people have them winning the whole thing, because that's a lot of firepower on offense that they do have that you'll have to contend with in a 7-game series, and it will be tough, no doubt, any team that plays them. But Drew Holiday being on the Portland Trail Blazers, I think that the Clippers have an opportunity to go after a point guard, in championship caliber mode, and a point guard that's eager to, show everybody that, not only he's still a formidable point guard and he still, wants to win. And I think Drew Holiday wants to be in a winning situation. I don't think he wants to be on Portland. And I think he wants to be in a situation where he can flourish and, win championships, again, or win a championship again. So, to me, this is the Clippers' opportunity to go after a point guard like him, somebody who can handle the ball, somebody who's tough, somebody who has a lot of physical ability, really lockdown defender, especially lockdown perimeter defender. And, he can knock down big shots. He's not afraid of the moment, and he's a champion. He's won a championship. He definitely helped the Bucks. He was a huge help in the Bucks winning that championship, that season, along with Giannis, of course. But he was a huge addition, to what, to Giannis as his sidekick. So, and I know the Clippers were going after Malcolm Brogdon, and that, bricked along with the James Harden thing. So just to have another backup point guard, or a point guard that they really feel like they can trust, with the ball, because, everybody knows how Russ has his turnover issues. And that's the reason why I think the Clippers were shopping for a point guard. As much as a lot of people, say, oh, well, Callie, or, maybe even some of y'all, which is cool. I'm definitely cool with your comments. No doubt about it. But I know how some of you guys and some of my people say I'm, hard on Russell Westbrook and stuff like that. But I understand where you're coming from. But I'm not the only one thinking that, because if I wasn't, or if I was, the Clippers wouldn't be trying to get another point guard. The two names you heard this offseason that the Clippers are trying to get was who? James Harden, he plays point guard. Malcolm Brogdon, he plays point guard. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're looking for somebody who can run the point at a high level without high turnover rate. You can call it what you want, but honestly, if you look at the facts, that's what they're looking for. As much as they like Russ, as much as they believe in Russ, they also believe Russ can hurt their chances of winning a championship if he gets too carried away, too excited on the floor, and make mistakes at the unopportune time. And I like Russell Westbrook. I've always thought that, he's a great player and things like that. I'm not the biggest fan of his winning intangibles, but as a player overall, Russ has always been a dope player, no doubt. But at the same time, when it comes to winning championships, it's another level to that. And you have to ascend to another level of that nature if you want to win. See, only one on that team, well, a few people on that team, but the only superstar on that team that knows about that is Kawhi Leonard. And that's the difference between champions and great players who put up a lot of points and put up a lot of stats. See, Kawhi puts up stats, numbers, and all that, but he also wins championships because he knows what it takes to get there. And high turnovers, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of negligent play doesn't get you championships. It gets you beat. So my point is, that's the reason why the Clippers are looking for somebody who can give them less turnovers. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I said I think Drew Holiday is a good fit and a good candidate for them, because he would come in there and give them everything that they need. He would basically be like just a great role player for them that plays that could play in a superstar type manner, because he would be one of their key guys that would help them win a championship. Because even though Kawhi and PG, Russ and all that, but the way Drew Holiday can lock people down, the way he can knock down shots, and the way he just plays, his game and don't really turn the ball over much, don't really have no significant turnovers at bad times in games. And I'm not saying Russ always does, because there's times where Russ don't turn the ball over hardly any. There's times where I've seen Russ have 1 or 2 turnovers a whole game. I've seen him do that, but I've also seen times where he didn't, and that's the reason why Russ gets criticized for that the most, and that's the weakness of Russ's game. Russ has a strong game in a lot of areas, but that's one of the weaknesses of his game. And the reason why it's one of his weaknesses, because, of course, he hasn't really gotten better with it over time. Now, of course, he fits with the Clippers more, but at the same time, just because you fit don't mean you're going to change bad habits, all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work that way sometimes for some people. And that's the reason why the Clippers are trying to get an insurance plan in another backup point guard, or maybe even a point guard they would trust to put in the starting lineup over Russ and let him run with the second unit. Just like, the Lakers were thinking about doing or did do or something like that. Because Russ fits with the Clippers so well, they might be looking at it like, well, let's just try to find, if we could find a point guard who plays at a high level like that and who can give us what we need, we can have Russ come off the bench and let him run with the second unit and do his thing. And at times, Ty Lue can insert him in the starting lineup when needed, or if, due to injury or something like that. And this way Russ could be himself and he doesn't really have to think too much. Because the problem with Russ is one part of his game that a lot of people don't notice: when Russ has to think a lot and make a lot of good decisions, that's not something that he does well. That's the reason why he's always been known to be turnover worthy. See, when you make good decisions on the court, that means you make less turnovers in the unopportune times or big moments in games. You make less turnovers when the game is on the line. You make less mistakes when the game is on the line. And that's the reason why I think the Clippers are, had their eyes and their sights on point guards who can give them that type of gameplay, whether off the bench or in the starting lineup. And I definitely think that Drew Holiday would be somebody that you can grab because he's on the Blazers. You just took Norman Powell and Rocco from the Blazers. You can definitely make a deal with them. I mean, honestly, you might be able to give up, one of your, players on the bench and maybe a couple of picks or something like that. I don't know what the Blazers would ask for in return. Maybe like a Terrence Mann and I don't know, something like that, with a future pick or something like that. And maybe even, I don't know, Marcus Morris. And if that's the case, I wouldn't rule out whether the Clippers would go for that deal or not. I wouldn't rule it out because, like I said, Drew Holiday is a champion. That overrides everything. So, I mean, definitely keep your eyes open and look out. But leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And we'll talk about it.